I need a Diet Coke. I am like speechless with how well the merch did. It's so surreal to me that like I have shirts and you guys bought my shirts and you guys are gonna wear shirts with my name on them, and I don't know how to like express how grateful I am for all of you. Obviously I'm gonna come out with stuff in the future. I have so many ideas. I get distracted so easily. Okay, my phone's going over there. I have so many different ideas and I have all of them written down, and there's so much stuff that I want to do. But if you guys have any ideas for what you might want to see, let me know, because I'm always open. I would rather do something that you guys want versus something that I want. I wouldn't release something that I didn't like personally, but your opinion means more to me because you guys are the ones who are getting it. But anyways, okay, let's get into the video. Thank you guys for all your support. I need my phone for the video and I threw it. Thank you guys for your support. I love you guys so much, and I am shocked at how amazing you guys are every day. If you guys haven't seen one of these videos before, basically what I do is I ask you guys, sorry if the squeaking is pissing you off because it's really pissing me off. Anyways, if you haven't seen one of these videos, basically what I do is I go on Twitter and I ask you guys to send me words, like one word, like a single word, and then I take that and I try to think of a story that's happened to me, like an actual story, and it helps me kind of remember the smaller things that have happened in my life, which is kind of nice because sometimes you push these things to the back of your brain, you know, the stories that aren't that crazy or that exciting, but it's like still interesting because it's you know what I mean? So I have a shit ton. You guys are crazy. I can't even keep up with you guys anymore. You guys sent me so many. So I have a bunch screenshotted and I'm gonna go through and we're gonna see what happens. Cactus. There was one time where me and my family went and we did like a staycation. So it's like where you stay at a hotel in like where you live. So like we were in Arizona and we went to a hotel like 20 minutes away from our house, but they had this cool pool and water slides and a lazy river and stuff like that. So we went to this hotel. That doesn't matter. So me and my siblings went into the gift shop because I don't know why they're like, well, I don't know why we would need souvenirs from a hotel 20 minutes from our house, but apparently we thought we did. So we went into this gift shop and there were a bunch of dog toys in this one section, and there was a toy that looked like a cactus, and so it was just like a little potted cactus, and so I grabbed it because it was cute. That shit was not a dog toy, and I grabbed that motherfucker, like I grabbed it like this. And like I didn't grab the little pot, I grabbed the cactus. And so I remember grabbing it, and at first I was like, huh, fuck. So I'm holding it and my brother's like, oh my god, is that a real cactus? So he grabs it and he pulls it out of my hand. My hand is covered in little splinters because I just full on grabbed a cactus. So my brother had to give me his gum so I could roll it around in my hand to get some of the splinters out. But I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put the potted cactus next to the dog toys. It looked like a dog toy. Or maybe I was just dumb. Pumpkin. Last year when Brittany and I did our pumpkin carving challenge, I left the pumpkins outside. Okay, I didn't realize how quickly pumpkins rotted. So that was my fault. So I put one pumpkin by our front door and I put the other pumpkin out on like a post that we had. It's like a pillar, like a wall. And I went outside maybe a week or so later, and I live in Arizona, so it's fucking hot all the time. Like it was October, but it was a solid 90 degrees outside, possibly 100. So these motherfuckers rotted extra fast. So I go outside and there's just this putrid smell. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? The pumpkin was literally caved in. Like it was so gross. It just formed into like this bowl of a pumpkin and it was black. Don't ask me why I didn't go outside before this. Well, I guess I don't really use the front door, but this motherfucker was like caved in, black, and had just so many flies around it and different bugs, and I was like, how do I clean this? Like, this is disgusting. So I went and I got a shovel from my garage and I like scooped up the thing, and it was stuck to the ground. Like this shit was glued to the ground. So I'm like scraping it off. I put a garbage bag over the top of it because like as I'm scraping it, all these different bugs are coming out. Ugh, oh my God. So I put a garbage bag over it. I got another garbage bag and I tried to slide it under. So I literally used like 400 garbage bags. And then I was like, oh my God, there's one on the pole. So I had to go over and essentially do the same thing. The one on the pillar wasn't as bad, surprisingly. I'm not really sure why, because that one was in direct sunlight, whereas the other one was like under the roof. It wasn't under the roof. It was by my front door, so there's like a little bit of shade. It was disgusting. So then this year when Brittany and I did it, I threw them away immediately. Like I didn't even cherish the pumpkins that we had carved. I threw them away. Burrito. I went to Chipotle the other day for the first time in a long time, and I got the queso. I didn't get a burrito, but you know, I got a bowl. Okay, I got a burrito bowl. I got the queso and it wasn't good. If you guys have Cafe Rio near you, I am a strong advocate for Cafe Rio. It's about 400 times better than Chipotle. Don't at me. Old man. Oh my God. Okay, there was this one time, I can't remember if I don't think I've told this story before. If I have, whatever. At some point I'm gonna start repeating stories because I have a horrible memory, but I don't think I've told this one. I was at Target once with my sister, and I think Brittany might have been there. It's either Brittany was there or my little sister's friend was there. But we were all at Target. I think maybe 4 of us, maybe all 4 of us were there. I can't remember. But we were in like the swimsuit clothing section and my sister and her friend were being really loud. Like they're being obnoxious, I'm not gonna lie. Like they need to shut the fuck up. So this woman and her husband are telling them to be quiet and telling them they're being rude and stuff. And then they go try to get like a worker person, I don't know, to come over and kick us out. And so I walk over there and I was like, what's the problem? And they were like, they're so rude and this and that. And like they're yelling at me. And I was like, they're kids. Like, because this was a long time ago. I mean, she was a brat, but she was really young. So I was like freaking out because I was like, don't talk about my sister that way. I was like, she is fine, I'll take care of it. Me trying to be the badass that I thought I was like barely older than her, but whatever. So then me and this couple get into like a screaming match and as I'm a cunt. I'm the biggest cunt in the entire world. So we're screaming at each other and as we're screaming, I'm taking my sister and my friend and her friend and we're walking away, we're leaving because we were gonna get kicked out regardless. So as we're walking away, I stopped yelling at this lady because it was just so fucking dumb. Like she was a 40-year-old woman screaming at me. I was probably like 17 at the most. So she's still yelling from like across the store basically. And I was like, say it to my fucking face. We were literally screaming on the opposite sides of Target. Moral of the story is, don't get into screaming fights at Target. I was so scared to go to that Target afterwards. I thought they'd have like my picture plastered on their walls, even though I didn't really do anything wrong. Got a little loud. I got a little rowdy. Matt, when I used to dance, I took a tumbling class because I wanted to be able to do cool things. And I'm not very talented just in general, but especially when it comes to tumbling. Like I could do an aerial. It was the ugliest shit in the entire world and I just kind of look like a fish flopping my body over. If you don't know what an aerial is, it's just a cartwheel with no hands. But it can look so graceful and so beautiful, but mine looked like a dead fish. But I wanted to be able to do a back handspring, a round off back handspring, and I wanted to do a back tuck. So these were the things that I was learning in the class. And I could do a back handspring, but I couldn't do a round off back handspring because I was a pussy and for some reason I thought it was like the scariest thing in the world, which it's kind of scary, a little bit. Going backwards is not my thing. I like to see where I'm going, so yeah. She told me to do back handspring and I was kind of scared, so she was like, okay, I'll spot you for the first one and then you'll do one on your own. So I went to do it and she spotted me and then she told me to do another one and I was like, can you spot me one more time? And she was like, yeah. So she has her arm there and then as soon as I'm going, she takes her arm away and I freak out and I land right on my back. Because you know when you just go in the air and you freak out and you kind of just like, and then you just fall down? Yeah. That happened a lot. They always said they would spot us and that they would help us and they're like, I'll be here, so like, you'll be fine. And then they would just like walk away, cunts. And the mats were hard. The floor, it wasn't like a wood, it was like a wood tile, like a kind of a mixture of wood tile. I know there's a name for it, but I don't exactly know what it is because it's been a while since I've danced. But then they just put this cheap fucking thin ass mat on top of it. So I'm essentially just crashing onto concrete. That's how it felt. Poker. Oh my gosh, in one of my really old videos, it was a vlog that I did where Brittany and I went to a casino and I remember Brittany's cousin had her play this one game and she thought it was blackjack, but it wasn't blackjack. So Brittany bet like $20 or something on this game and it turned out to be a completely different game that she was playing, so she obviously lost because she had no idea what she was doing. But I was recording it because I didn't know that was bad because I don't gamble, I don't go to casinos. So I got in trouble for recording and then they asked me for my ID and I remember I got so mad. I used to get really defensive when people would tell me that I looked really young, which I understand. I look like I'm 14. I mean, whatever, I get it. But I used to get so upset when people would ask me for my ID. Oh my God, I would get so mad. Especially if they'd already checked it previously and then somebody else asked for it. I'm like, and then I recorded later because I was stupid and then I got in trouble again. That was my own fault though. Someone said skateboard, but it reminded me of something else, so we're gonna go with that. My family used to have a house, like a cabin up in Flagstaff, which is just up north in Arizona. There's like snow and all that kind of stuff, you know, outdoorsy shit. And me and my siblings would always go like skateboarding, or we would go rollerblading, or we'd ride our bikes all around the complex because it was like a smaller complex and there were a lot of hills. It was fun. But I was a pussy, so I didn't really like the hills that much. But I remember there was one time, I suck at riding bikes. I suck at most things, but I'm really bad at riding bikes. I fall a lot. I'm good at rollerblading, which is weird because you'd think if I could rollerblade, I could maybe ride a bike because it's like harder to balance on rollerblades than a bike, but no. So there was this one time, I finally decided that I would put on my big girl pants and I would ride my bike down this giant hill outside of my house. And it's street, like it's a road that I'm riding on. So me and my siblings are at the top of the hill and I'm sure like one of them probably had like their bike, one of them probably had a scooter. We had a lot of shit at this cabin, okay? So I'm riding the bike down and immediately, like probably within 5 seconds of me beginning to ride my bike down this hill, I lose control, obviously, because why wouldn't I? And I remember just like the bike slid from under me and I flew into like the railing on the side of the road and like scraped up my body, and I was just like, this is why I don't do things. This is why I don't leave my room. Now I just chill in my apartment because I'm scared to do anything else. Oh, and another time, same cabin, different time. There was a shit ton of snow because it had snowed. There was a hill out front of our house. I mean, it wasn't a very big hill, but it was pretty steep. But I grabbed a sled and we all went up there because we did it all the time. And I went down, but I went in the wrong section and I hit a bump, like a rock at the bottom, and it made me fly up and just smack land on the street. Because the hill, I don't even know if I can explain it to you guys. It's like my house was right here, and then our driveway kind of went up a little bit, and then it was the road, and then the hill was right here. So I like went down and then bumped and then smacked my shit. My sister too. We had a lot of incidents at this cabin. It was a very dangerous time in my life. My sister was riding her rollerblades down my driveway and she couldn't stop and she hit our porch just like dead on and just flew to the front door. I know it's not funny, but the way I'm imagining it is fucking hilarious because there was a step to our porch. I'm crying. I like literally the picture I have in my head. I wish I could recreate it. It's so fucking funny. She just flew down and like hit this bump on our step and just, sorry Steph, jump. My brother used to ride these Razor scooters and he would have these jumps, like these ramps that he could go off of, and he had them in the driveway all the time because he'd always be out there riding them. And I remember one time I had my car parked in the driveway and I got in my car. I think it was nighttime. Actually, I don't even think it was nighttime. I'm not even gonna give myself that. I'm not even gonna try to make myself look better than I do. So I got in my car and I wasn't really paying attention and I started driving and suddenly my car kind of like went up and then my car fell down. So I got out of the car because I was like, what the fuck did I just hit? And literally under my tires was this poor ramp that just crumbled into pieces of metal because my car literally tried to go over the ramp. Sorry, Sam. Abandoned. I actually am probably gonna go to a couple different abandoned places in Texas. I've been looking up haunted places because I kind of want to create a series based off of that where I kind of tell you guys about it and then I go to it. I did that a little bit a while ago with places in Arizona, but I want it to be like a thing that I do frequently. So there's an abandoned, I can't remember what he said. I think it's like an abandoned factory, so stay tuned. Someone said ravioli and then in parentheses said yuck. I fucking love raviolis. I'm really gross and like most foods that people think are absolutely disgusting. Chef Boyardee, that shit is good. I'm into the cheap Chef Boyardee shit. Movie night, I have been having my own movie nights every single night being here. And I really wanted to watch Little Rascals the other night, but they don't have it anywhere. I mean, they have it on YouTube, but I'd have to pay for it. But it's like $3 and I'm cheap as shit. I watched Grease and Grease 2 the other night. I didn't realize how sexual some parts of the movies were until I rewatched it as an adult. I used to sing those songs every day, every day. Chicken nuggets just reminds me of that Vine that's like, I love myself. Even though I look like a burnt chicken nugget, I love myself. I don't even know if I'm quoting it right, but that's a fucking hilarious Vine. Even though I look like a burnt chicken nugget. Catfished. Actually, funny story. When I first joined, okay, because I used to be a Cube fan. If you don't know what the Cube is, it's a fucking Minecraft group. Judge me. And when I first got my Twitter, my cjades Twitter, the Twitter that most of you probably follow, I was a Cube fan. I loved Minecraft. I was a huge Minecraft fangirl. But when I first joined the community, people all thought I was a catfish. Everybody thought I was a catfish. They didn't think I was real. I would barely even post pictures of my face though because I was insecure at that time. So every picture I posted was like basically in the dark, the shittiest lighting ever. And that was back when like iPhone 2s were still a thing. So it was like the quality was horrendous and you literally couldn't even see my face. Someone followed me and people were literally like, you know, she's not real, right? I was like, hey. Sleepwalking. I used to sleepwalk all the time. I'm not really sure why. I used to have bunk beds too, so I would be on the top bunk and somehow I would get down and sleepwalk. But there was one time I sleptwalked and I fell down the stairs. Like I successfully made it down to bunk bed, but then I fell down the stairs. I don't know. Blackout drunk, Paxis on bed, vomit and juice, silly British boy. That pretty much speaks for itself. That whole Paxis trip was a trip. Someone said sledding, but that goes back to my other story about the bump and the, you know. Actually, did I ever tell you guys, oh, I almost dropped my phone. Did I ever tell you guys the story when I basically left my friend stranded, like, in the snow? I don't think I did, but that's gonna be a completely different video. That's a good fucking story. I'm a bitch. Speeding ticket, yeah. I'm gonna make an entire video about my speeding tickets because I think this is my 4th. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember. I've had a lot of speeding tickets. It was like my 4th day living in Texas. And I had the most annoying morning in the entire world. I spent all morning dealing with these fucking idiots at Frontier because they literally fucked me over so bad with my internet and I needed internet, like I needed to start working. But I had the most annoying morning with them. I had to cancel my internet with them because their internet is just absolute shit in my area and they didn't feel like telling me that when I first got the internet with them. And so I got new internet, but then I had to go get my router and stuff from the new place whose They are saints. Oh, saints sent from heaven above. Spectrum, you're my boys. But as I was driving home after having this stupid morning and just wanting to be home and have internet and like be able to do shit, because I had to watch Horrible Bosses for 3 days straight. I hate this movie. I will never watch the movie ever again. I haven't even seen the first one. That's Horrible Bosses too. But I was driving home and of course I got pulled over. And I was like, this day couldn't get any more annoying. I mean, it wasn't like a horrible day. Like nothing horrible happened. It was just one of those days where you're just like so frustrated and like everything is just so annoying. And I was like, of course. I started laughing when I got pulled over because I was like, of course. I wouldn't expect this day to end any other way. And then I go home and I got internet, so it was all good. Okay, and I'm gonna end this video here. I have so many more, so I'm probably gonna film a part 2 because I love these videos. These videos are so fun for me to film. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to anybody who sent me words. I'm sorry if I don't end up using your word. I'm sorry. I just kind of scroll through, and if nothing comes to my head right away, I'll revisit it later, but I like the stories that just like pop into my head, you know? But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. I don't know how I managed to just sweat all the time. Like, it's not even that hot right now. Maybe it's because the sun is blaring through my window. Or maybe I'm just a sweaty person. I don't know. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, pork, mouse, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, chicken, turkey.